So it's becoming more obvious that the Braves probably have to add a starter in somewhere. Bryce Elder's had not two rough start. And when I say rough, like he's been roughed up. 6 innings and 12 earned runs. I don't know what the deal is there, but again, he's been bebopped around and everything like that. And if you look, it's been 4 of his last 8 starts where he's gotten, popped around and he's not pitched well. So over his, last quarter of his season starts, not pitched very well. Then last night, Charlie Morton had, a rough outing. And believe it or not, the last time Charlie Morton had lost, he'd won what, 5 straight decisions. He had won 5 straight decisions up till last night. The last time he had lost was when they pitched in Arizona. So lost to the same team twice in, a little over a month and a half. But he was roughed up last night as well. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Did not give up a home run, but did throw 103 pitches in that 5 2/3 innings. And the Braves go down in defeat, and this is going to be their second series in a row that they've lost. They've lost, 4 straight now, and this is going to be their second series in a row that they've dropped. Now, look, you got Zach Gallen on the mound versus Spencer Strider. That's a all-star pitching matchup, right? Zach Gallen was the starter for the NL All-Star team. Obviously, Strider was on the team but did not pitch. Nobody pitched for the Braves, but it's a big-time matchup, and the Braves need a win. I mean, the Braves, now again, one game in the grand scheme of things over 162 games is not going to be the difference. But again, you're starting to see that there are little, chunks and chinks, in the armor that the Braves need to figure out a way to just kind of get back on track and just feel good about themselves. Because again, they're going to go to Milwaukee, and 6 of their next 8 games are going to be against the division leading Milwaukee Brewers. And again, I don't necessarily fear the Brewers. When we've lined up against them in the past, we've kind of handled them. But again, you're on the road. Again, the Braves have been obviously outstanding on the road, but you're on the road against a division leader. 6 of the next, 8 times. Again, they're not all on the road, but three in Milwaukee. Then you got 2 games in Boston, and then you got 3 at home against the Brewers in Truist Park. But they pitched really well, and their offense is kind of coming around. Yelich is having a nice season. Maybe could have been an all-star, but again, he's not at the same level that he was a few years ago where he was MVP of the league. But it does look like the Braves maybe need to get themselves a starter. And whether that's, one of the Cardinal guys in Flaherty or what have you, whether that's one of the White Sox guys in Giolito or Lance Lynn or whoever, I don't know that they're going to give up a lot of capital to get a starting pitcher. I don't know that they're going to give up a lot of assets to get a starting pitcher. But certainly it would be an idea that, look, the reality of your rotation is Elder's struggling. Maybe he's hitting a little bit of a wall. Morton has been good up until last night, but okay, just to make sure that he doesn't get off track or kilter, because again, he's having a really good bounce back year. Strider's, gotten his roughed up moments and stuff of late, but okay, let's figure Strider's is good to go. And you're waiting for Max Fried to eventually get back into this rotation. Okay, maybe that's end of July, maybe that's first part of August. No idea when Kyle Wright is going to be there. Soroka getting his sea legs back. And it's not panic mode. I mean, this is not a panic move. It's just a provide some stability kind of move, which is what we've been talking about. The idea of, look, their starting rotation is forming into becoming a plus for this team. The way Elder and Strider and Morton have pitched this year, they've really been able to carry the load. And you are going to get Max Fried back, and you're working Michael Soroka into the mix. But in the short term, and you might not even be looking for a guy who is going to get the ball come playoff time, right? Because again, you've got the guys that you need for playoff time. You've got Strider and Morton, and you'll have Max Fried. Maybe you'll have Kyle Wright. But again, Elder, I mean, okay. So you have enough starting pitching that when you get to the playoffs, whether it's 4 guys or 5 guys that you're going to have available to you. But in the short term, just to get some of these guys over the hump a little bit and get them kind of back on track, help figure out what is going on, maybe experiment a little bit or what have you, because the Braves are in a comfortable position. mean, let's face it, they still lead the division by a crap ton of games. Again, they lead the division by I did this experiment the other night when they had a 10.5 game lead over the Marlins. If you combined all of the other divisions in baseball, the Braves had almost as big a lead as every other division in baseball combined. So the Braves are in good shape. I mean, it's not a matter of panicking or, oh my gosh, we got to go out and get 15 guys. And no, I mean, you probably are looking for a starter that can bridge the gap a little bit to get you through some of this and get you through some of these rough times. Maybe that is a Lance Lynn. Maybe that is a Lucas Giolito. Maybe that is a Jack Flaherty. I'm not saying that you got to go out and get an all-star caliber pitcher and you got to get an ace on your staff. We've got some aces on our staff, and Morton has been really good this year. We talked about yesterday about the fact that he's on pace to set his career high in wins. So I don't really have any fears about that. But again, just providing some stability in this rotation, just to give you an extra arm. Maybe if you want to skip a start for Bryce Elder and give him a little bit of rest or what have you. I don't know. I mean, I'm just spitballing out here, but again, they need to get themselves back on track. And listen, it would go a long way for Spencer Strider to outduel Zach Gallen today in a businessman special and get themselves back on track, get a win, and then head up to Milwaukee on a high note and feel good about yourself. Even though you lost the series, at least feel good about yourself that you broke your 4-game winning streak. And then we'll see what happens, in Milwaukee. Like I said, 6 of the next 8 games are going to be against the Brewers, who lead their division in the NL Central. And then you got the dreadful Red Sox for just a 2-game set up in Boston. So maybe the Braves need to find themselves a trigger man and pull off a trade. I don't think they want to give up a lot of capital. I'm not looking for, an all-star 20-game winning starting pitcher, but maybe just to kind of let the Braves breathe a little bit, slow things down a little bit, and find that guy that just can kind of provide a little bit more stability until we get everybody else up to speed, until we get Soroka and Fried and maybe eventually Wright up to speed. Maybe just need that bridge guy to make this thing happen. All right, as you listen in to Hittin' Hard, make sure that you go in and whatever podcast platform that you're listening on, let us know that you're an everyday listener to the program. So let us know that you're an everydayer, as we like to call them. And we thank you so much for being a part of our growing community. And listen, we appreciate every day your contributions to being a part of this audience. But let us know that you're an everyday listener to the program, that you listen in 5 days a week.